Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerians. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the Cancer Collective in late November? Sagittarius season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cancerians in late November. What's happening? What's the vibe? What energy is coming in? Oh, nice and quick. Beautiful. All right. I always like seeing this, and I do get similar things for the water signs with the creativity and all this good stuff. There's a lot of creation and manifestation in this very first card, and there's a lot of positivity as well. So I feel like this is a good place to start, regardless of whatever you might be going through. This is a nice energy that we could lean into. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So we have this lovely lady here. She has that awesome, unique hairdo. And notice she's in front of a sewing machine. She has a golden thread. This is a huge card of creating, literally, like she's creating something almost out of nothing. So great energy around manifestation for the Cancer Collective in this time. So whatever it is you're focusing your vision on and working towards, there's great energy around that. Now, I do also link this card, aside from the creativity, which we'll get into in a moment. When I think of a sewing machine and someone doing this type of work, I think of mending and fixing. So now is a great time for Cancers to do any sort of problem solving, righting wrongs or making things right. It just feels really nice to me in general. Now, whenever I see cards like this, it does lean into that classic creativity of the water signs. Everyone knows water signs are highly imaginative, very creative. So now's a great time for any sort of creative outlet, whether you're trying to create a new business, doing art, music, writing, you name it. So there's great energy coming in. So I feel like this is a good place for us to start because there's a lot of potential. So we're going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for you, my Cancerian friends. Let's see what's happening, guides. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, pardon me, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Unexpected Win. And it was showing up in a strong way. And I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's financial, whether it's career, whether it's personal relationships, you name it. So even if that hasn't come in for you yet, that's an energy that could bleed over for a couple weeks, which is a really nice thing. But we're going to see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards to start us off. What do we got for the Cancers, please? Cancerian friends, thank you. Yeah, and I was just going on a whole thing about manifestation. Look who pops out first, our friend the magician. So yeah, I knew I felt it in the air, my friends. This is really good. Let's get him up there by the amethyst. And yeah, I like this energy. It's a good start. Feeling very optimistic so far. We still got a long ways to go though, right? Okay. Queen of Wands, beautiful, confident, fiery. This could be very good as well. So I'm still feeling a really nice energy so far. I don't want to get too optimistic. Let's get one more. Okay, so even if you're cross-watching for a Cancer, this could bode well. Depending on your situation, of course. All right, let's get one more. Oh, okay. So, all right, so there is a little bit of an aggressive energy here as well. On the back end, we do have 5 of Swords, which definitely doesn't have to sync the reading, but we're going to have to really discuss that a little further. And on the very back end, you get a bonus this week. Our good pal Temperance, Archangel Michael, chilling right there. So I like the mixture of of energies we have here. It's like we have a little bit of everything going on. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first glance, I always look at the elements first. I do feel like we're fire heavy, which could be good. That's the realm of moving things forward, physical action, your internal energy, so like your internal combustion energies. We have the magician here, master of all elements. Queen of Wands, fire. Temperance on the back end, fire. Sagittarius. We do have that little bit of air with the Five of Swords. So when we mix a lot of prominent fire and air together, that could be explosive, a little unpredictable, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. So whether this is all different things or one thing, I feel optimistic about it. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. So position number one, we're starting here with the magician. A lot of the things I was saying with that very first oracle card do apply to this magician. So you see him there, he's in front of that table. Every single suit is present, master of all elements. The magician shows up. It's a bit of a subtle energy. It's not really in your face like these next two are going to be, but the magician is like definitely things happening behind the scenes, energy starting to build up. This is really great. A lot of Cancerians in this time, it's great to step into spirituality, whether it's putting it into practice and doing like ritual and prayer and stuff like that, or whether it's consuming knowledge. This is a highly, highly spiritual type of energy. But I always say the magician is the biggest card of manifestation, of creation, bringing things forth. Now, I always mention that when it comes to manifesting, you can't just think of something and hope that it's going to appear. You need to like visualize the end goal. You need to put action towards it and meet the universe halfway. But this is a huge card of potential. Another thing I always say about this magician, aside from manifesting and creating and spirituality, is this is a card of control. So whether it's controlling your own fate, controlling how something goes, hopefully you're not in a situation that's out of your hands when the magician is here, but we'll look into it further. I'm feeling okay about it so far. Now, moving to the center, we have a very magnetic card, highly, highly magnetic. We have the beautiful Queen of Wands. Now, for a portion of you, it might be connected to a fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy here in a very powerful way. But when I see her, I think of self-confidence, right? Queens represent the internal aspects of their suit. So when we see fire, there's really great things about it. It's like, I could do this. I got it. Very fired up and motivated to get something moving. So in a positive sense, if you're trying to shift something or change something or move forward, this is a really great type of vibe. Again, it could deal with aesthetics. So some Cancerians, you might be changing something about your look or your wardrobe. But again, this is beautiful, confident, sexy type of energy. So I love the Queen of Wands. The only challenge with her is just like all the other Wands cards, it could be a little unpredictable, especially with the air coming up right next to it. So we're going to want to keep tabs of this. In the challenge, aside from the unpredictability, like the Queen of Wands could sometimes be someone that's a little skeptical, or they're like, I'm not feeling too hot about this. We'll see. Now, on the very back end, this is the only thing that's sticking out like a thorn in the side, but it doesn't have to be bad. We have the Five of Swords. It's a very aggressive type of card. So that's why I said this one in the front, a little more subtle, but when we move to the Queen of Wands and the confidence, now the Five of Swords, very much in your face type of energy, very aggressive. So if you're normally chill, laid back type of person, all this stuff I'm picking up on the back end is much more outgoing, and it's, I don't want to say aggressive in a bad way, but let's talk about the positives of the Five of Swords. It's somebody that's focused on themselves in one way or another. They're doing what's right for themselves when it is how they move forward. There's a ton of determination. So if this card is representing a problem or a situation of some kind, the Five of Swords is like, you better not get in my way. In the challenge, and there's a whole laundry list of challenges with the Five of Swords, this card can represent, again, problems or situations. It could be very confrontational. It could be very aggressive. It could sometimes be a self-centered energy. So you might have dealings with a person that's a little egotistical. Worst case, most extreme scenario, the Five of Swords could be someone that's like nasty or mean or even narcissistic with this card. So it's something we're going to want to watch out for, especially since it's surrounded by all this fire. Now, on the very back end, you do have a nice card for your bonus that chills it out. So it balances it. We do have Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Archangel Michael does speak about patience, letting something calm down, letting something simmer. So I feel like it's a nice balance here. For some of you, this could just represent spiritual protection being around you, which is really good. So I want to dive deeper on all of this stuff, Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. get a good shuffle here. What's going on with my Cancers, please? What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Magician. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you can drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get this Magician going. Why is the Magician here? Thank you. I mean, my friends, you can't get much better than this alignment. Magician clarified by the sun. So this is Leo energy. If you're not connected to Leo, or if you don't have Leo placements yourself, the sun is the best card in the whole entire deck. So it seems like the optimism I was feeling in the beginning is very much based in reality with what I'm seeing. There could be something you're dealing with that has a ton of potential, whether it's an idea that you have or something you want to work towards, something you want to push towards. The sun can sometimes represent things being illuminated. So I feel for some Cancers in this time, this could either be one, a breakthrough moment where things just click into place in your mind and you have full illumination. You're like, okay, this is why, this is the when, this is the how. I feel something coming together and breaking through in a powerful way. And obviously, this is a card of blessings and abundance and just beautiful stuff. So I feel like in this time, you should not limit yourself in your thinking. Okay, if you are going through a tough time, if things aren't super easy right now, keep that silver lining, optimism, and aim high. That's a big vibe I'm picking up, like aim high when I see this type of energy. So I feel like that's extremely, extremely claimable when we have the Magician with the Sun card. Lovely stuff. Love it. So we're just going to keep moving. We're not going to overcomplicate it. I do feel for a lot of you there could be a breakthrough of some sort coming in with all this energy. Really good. Let's keep moving forward. And I feel like I saw that for you a few weeks ago as well. So it's like that energy still lingering around. Really nice. Beautiful blessings. But let's go in on that Queen of Wands. Let's see what she has to say. The real thing I want to check out is that Five of Swords on the back end, because like I was saying, there's like a lot of really good energy here, and there's just something sticking out over there. But let's go in on the Queen of Wands. Thank you. Page of Swords. Okay, so I will say this. There could most definitely be somebody that has eyes on, okay? So whether it's you with your eyes on a situation or person, it's like I'm keeping tabs on this. From a distance, it's like giving me that kind of vibe. So whether it's someone keeping tabs on you or you keeping tabs on something else, the Page of Swords is the watcher. I will also say this, in this time, I've been seeing it for a few other signs. You might be more magnetic than you normally are. You might be getting more attention than you normally do, even if it's something you're not trying to do. So just know, like, how you're presenting yourself, how you're putting yourself out there, people are probably noticing it. And if not, like Queen of Wands, Page of Swords, it's like someone checking something out. Now, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's in a bad way, but it's clear as day to me. Now, the Page of Swords, air sign energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they can represent conversations, talks. Now we have the fire-air mixture still here with the explosive energy, but when I see it clear as day, Page of Swords clarifying the Queen of Wands, somebody's watching something, okay? Now, if that's the mode you're in, I feel like that's the right mode. Whether it's a situation or a person, I feel like right now is a good time to be observing it. Or if there is someone or something that's on your radar, it's good. It's okay to keep tabs on it for whatever reason. So let's keep moving. No judgment here. Let's keep moving over to the Five of Swords. See what's up with that. It's like, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on this thing. That's just how it feels. So let's go in. We have a pretty good mixture happening. Let's see why the Five of Swords is here, please. Where's the 5 here? Thank you. Okay. So we do have the Queen of Cups showing up here in reverse. This very peculiar type of energy. I don't necessarily feel like this is jealousy, but it could be for some of you. Not saying you're jealous, but there could be easily somebody that's a little envious of you and the things you have or what you got going on. So just beware of that. There is so much good. There is so much positive, and I don't want this to sink it. But when I see the Five of Swords and the Queen of Cups in reverse, that's one of your cards. And remember, it's not gender specific. When I see the Five of Swords, Queen of Cups in reverse, it's either one of two things. Either one, somebody is on your poop list, or they're going to piss you off, or two, someone is looking at you. So it's like we have really good positive ways that people are seeing you, but there's also like this hater, on the back end. It's super peculiar to me. So again, like I said, you could be attracting a lot more energy than you normally do, and there's a lot of reasons for that in the spread, and I'll talk about that during the recap. I feel like you could be attracting really good things and really good attention, but you could also be attracting some of the other stuff. So just be cautious of how you're presenting yourself in this time. I don't know why I'm giving that message, but either way, there is a strong spiritual protection. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. That message on the back end is not my favorite, but it's fine. There's so much good here. And yeah, right here before the shadow card and before I break one each down piece by piece, notice we have Leo energy, which is an attention grabber. We have the Magician, which is magnetic, pulling things towards it. We have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords, peeping something out. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be catching the eyes of various individuals for good and for rough. But the Magician with the Sun in the upright, very important to stay optimistic and have a clear sight moving forward about what it is that you want. I feel like for a lot of you, you could be making breakthroughs in this time. Moving to the center, like this energy, we have the Queen of Wands with the Page of Swords, whether it's someone that's keeping tabs on you or a situation you're keeping an eye on. I think it's the right thing to do to keep an eye on this, whatever it might be. Onto the back end, we have the Five of Swords with the Queen of Cups in reverse. So either someone's going to upset you and you're going to get a little pissed off at someone, or this is somebody that's a little envious and it feels like a hater to me on the back end. So do with that information what you will. Lots of attention for one reason or another, but please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Let's get a good shuffle here and see what we got for Cancer in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. Shadow card could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Let's get this going. One shadow card, please. What is in the shadows for Cancer? Thank you. Okay, Page of Pentacles. So yeah, again, a lot of people, notice half of the spread is court cards. We have a lot of like other individuals showing up. And the Page of Pentacles, like all pages, represent students and messengers. So for a lot of Cancers in this time, watch out for new opportunities popping up, whether it's learning new things or learning new skills. Like there's a lot of new fresh energy coming in. It's more like you got to meet the universe halfway when I see the Page of Pentacles. Now in regards to conversational type of energy, if there is someone you haven't heard from in a while, when we get the Page of Pentacles in the shadows, it can represent somebody popping up out of nowhere that wants to have a talk of some kind. So just keep that in mind. You might be having some conversations that are kind of like out of nowhere in the coming days and weeks, but there is like really good energy towards like learning new things and new skills. So I feel like this is a good shadow card for the most part, but whenever we have pages, remember, they're not a guarantee. Pages are energies where there's potential, but you have to meet the universe halfway. Okay, either that or the conversations we were talking about. But yeah, Cancer, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.